2, 1.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us on KSAT News Now. This is our bite-sized digital newscast streaming every Monday through Friday. Sound effects at 11 a.m. And if you're watching us on YouTube Live, KSAT Plus, or listening to the podcast, happy Friday. We have made it.
We've made it.
Yes.
It's been a long week, but
right.
We're here and we are ready to celebrate.
Absolutely, yeah. Yesterday, I was out for a walk and I was with my wife and we were just kind of like, can't believe it's already like Thursday night. It feels like it's been a long week, but also kind of, I don't know, I feel like the days are all just kind of blending in together at this point. Maybe it's the heat.
Well, I also feel like, how is it the middle of June already, right?
That too, yeah.
I'm basically in Christmas mode already. I'm jumping ahead like
You're that
big
person?
time.
That person?
I am that person.
put up Christmas lights and stuff like that. Always got to jump the gun there. So, yeah, guys. So obviously we have a lot to get into this morning as we wrap up the week. Of course, thank you very much for being with us and spending part of your morning with us as well. We're going to be talking about several things, but first of all, I want to start with the latest in Uvalde. We of course are following developments there.
Yeah, so today is day 3 of testimony in the Uvalde investigation. Yesterday was the first day of hearings in Uvalde, and the State House Investigative Committee is back for another day. They are closed-door hearings, so we didn't get to learn much about what was discussed yesterday, but again, they are back in session today.
That's right, and yesterday we did learn from Uvalde District Attorney Christine Mitchell Busby that her office is not investigating the shooting at Robb Elementary School. She told KSAT her office will review the findings once the FBI and the Texas Rangers investigation is complete.
Yeah, and yesterday I believe the testimony was given from district employees,
right.
And today, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be more law enforcement.
That is the goal. Now, whether we hear from the Uvalde Police Department, that's another question there.
Yeah, so of course we've been following the story now for over 3 weeks, and we're going to continue reporting any new findings and new information as it comes in. You can stay up to date with all of this on KSAT.com.
That's right, yeah, we're streaming anything that we can with these hearings. So turning now to some local news this morning. After months of trying to reach a labor contract, the San Antonio Symphony will be no more, the board deciding to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
In a statement on its website, the board said the assets of the symphony are now in the hands of a trustee who will liquidate them, pay what creditors remain, and close the doors.
Yeah, this has been a long ongoing thing here. So musicians first went on strike in September of last year after an impasse was declared in contract negotiations between the Symphony Society of San Antonio and the local chapter of the American Federation of Musicians.
After a lot of back and forth, the two sides were ultimately unable to form a deal that offered competitive wages while also addressing the symphony's financial struggles. We do have this full story posted on KSAT.com, but yeah, it's been months of them just trying to come to a deal, and again, they have not been able to do that. So,
and this is a shame because a city of this size needs to have an official symphony orchestra, and of course, it means a lot to the culture, the arts, and for any young musicians too that are trying to continue on with that career path. So hopefully something gets figured out here in the future, because again, I cannot imagine that we are this big of a city and do not have a symphony orchestra. It's a shame.
Yeah, as for this organization, however, I don't think that there's any going back on it right now, but like you said, maybe in the next few years we'll be able to somehow come up with a new organization or something, somewhere for these people to turn to.
Absolutely. Okay, so switching topics now to property taxes. Yeah, that's a bummer there. The city of San Antonio, their city council unanimously yesterday voted to raise the homestead exemption. There's some good news, from the minimum 0.01% or $5,000 up to 10% of a home's value.
Yes, so that means it reduces the taxable value of a person's home, which will in turn reduce the homeowner's tax bill. The exemption for disabled homeowners was also increased from $12,500 to $85,000. The exemption for seniors went from $65,000 to $85,000 as well.
Yeah, so good news there is a pretty significant jump. So combined with an unexpected cut to the tax rate and the fact that your taxable value can only go up to 10% every year, the city expects the relief measures to offset any rise in your city tax bill that you would have seen because of these skyrocketing appraisal values, which just continue to go up, and home values That's going to continue to go up here too. It doesn't seem like our housing market's going to slow down anytime soon.
No, and yesterday you actually did a story on the interest rate hike,
Right,
and what that means for people who are looking for a home right now, and they told you that it's kind of it's working in people's favor in a way.
I was actually very surprised by this because they were saying that, that the market should soften up a little bit here in San Antonio over the next few months, and that the buyers' power is going to be a little bit better than in previous times compared to sellers. But at the same time, the values of the homes are just going to continue to go up because there's actually a shortage supply of homes here in San Antonio. So people are going to continue to buy them. But when you think about property taxes, homes, I mean, there's just a lot that homeowners now just have to think of in general.
Yeah, I know. And I know that, recently that people have just been getting into those bidding wars. And I think one point that they made is that with the interest rate hike, I'm getting off onto another subject here, but with the interest rate hike, I mean, you won't have to be going up against as many people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, so homeowners, home buyers, there's just a lot to follow here. Okay, so the celebration is on this morning, Priscilla. Moving over to the West Coast, that would be the Bay Area after the Warriors have won the 2022 NBA championship.
Yes, Golden State has now won 4 titles in the past 8 seasons as they beat the Boston Celtics 4-2.
That's right. Steph Curry, that would be the Warriors guard, was named Finals MVP for the first time in his long career. So good job there. Congratulations to Steph.
The Warriors' Big 3 passed the Spurs' Big 3 for all-time NBA Finals wins. The Spurs still have more championships, and former Spurs player Steve Kerr won his 4th championship as Warriors coach. He now has won 9 championships total, 9 as a player and coach.
That's right, and 2 of those championships were in San Antonio back in '99, the OG championship for the Spurs, and then in 2003, that was David Robinson's last year. And if you're looking at us from the visual platforms, you see that the new Golden State Arena, the Chase Center right there, the San Francisco Bay, setting off those fireworks. People hitting the streets. I don't think they go honking.
I was going to say, maybe they do.
That's our thing. We go honking.
Only San Antonio can claim it?
Yes,
we'll
we're the
have to
only
see.
people that are going to be going honking anytime soon. Not that the Spurs are anywhere close, but, good memories.
You can go honking just because it's Friday. How about that?
I like that. Yeah, definitely. That's a good one right there. Just go honking because it's the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, Priscilla, of course, this Sunday marks the federal holiday to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people. Juneteenth originated in Galveston back in 1865, but is celebrated nationwide. And here in San Antonio, the festivities kick off today at Comanche Park number 2.
We spoke to one of the organizers for the 2022 Juneteenth Festival and Family Reunion, and we have more on the importance of that holiday.
On June 19, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger rode into Galveston Bay to proclaim all slaves were free.
The slavery industrial complex that would put humans, men, women, and children in captivity, enslavement, is so important to be able to get the independence and to be able to have freedom.
And while it may be a new federal holiday, Juneteenth is rooted deep in the history of the U.S. and even here in San Antonio.
Actually, the festival has been going on since 1866. What's great is that it's free. Did I say free?
Free.
Free. Free as those folks were in 1865.
San Antonio's Juneteenth Festival and Family Reunion is a 3-day celebration focused on community and awareness of the progress made by African Americans for all people.
I'd like for people to bring a thirst of knowledge and a thirst for drink and food, because it's going to be a lot of great food. Friday we have fish fries. Saturday we have a major barbecue plate dinner. And then on Sunday, what's going to be exciting is going to be Church in the Park, which Mama D and Gary Givens will be promoting and establishing, and it's going to be very nice.
It's a weekend of fun that represents the commitment for equity and inclusion for all Americans.
You know, America is not a perfect country, but with all its imperfection, it strives for perfection. And we're hoping that we can be part of making it right for everybody.
I'm Alicia Barrera.
All right, Alicia right there talking about this Juneteenth festival. Mike, Priscilla, kicking off today. Hours for all 3 days will be 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Comanche Park number 2. That's at Rigsby Avenue, and admission is free.
Yes, and for more information on this festival, you can just go to JuneteenthSanAntonio.com.
All right, Mike, so what's the weather going to be like out here? We got a lot of different things going on this weekend.
And you had mentioned Christmas before. It's hard to think about that, but doesn't Hallmark have Christmas in July coming up here?
Oh, yeah. See?
Wow.
See,
Look at
we're on
that.
the same
Yes.
page.
I
Switch
should
places.
know.
Another one of my Hallmark Christmas.
I will. You know what? We want to talk Hallmark movies.
Let's talk about anything besides all the heat around here. So, but yeah, it's inevitable. If you are going to be out, I mean, you know, we got Father's Day coming up here with all the Juneteenth going on and just a nice long holiday weekend. One thing we're going to be dealing with today is that. That's a sunset, but all of that lovely Saharan dust out there. And Mark Austin this morning had a similar picture of this one. He said it looked like Tatooine.
It does.
Star
I was going
Wars.
to say it looks like some weird planet, Star Wars. That's a good reference.
Yeah, that or it's Mars or something like that. So we got a lot of sunshine out there right now. We had some clear skies overnight, and you can see that haze. And even when you walk outside, I mean, I don't think this picture really does it justice as far as seeing all of the smoke, or not smoke, but I should say, but all the Saharan dust out there. And yes, we have hit 100 officially out there at the airport 15 times so far, and we're just going to keep chalking up these numbers as we go on in here, forecasting triple digits all the way through into next week. Right now we're at 82 degrees, so we've warmed up about 7 from the hourly reading this morning in the low, which seemed like it was kind of cool and more pleasant this morning. The humidity actually dropped down a little bit this morning, lower than where it has been the past couple of days. And right now, though, we do have 2 points down in the 60s still. This is where it was this morning. We had actually these numbers that were down in the low 60s earlier this morning. The threshold, of course, is about 60 degrees. That's where you start to feel the humidity. And it was actually kind of pleasant in parts of the hill country, not the sort of window dripping humidity that we've seen earlier this week. And it will be dropping down enough in the afternoon to where we won't have that much of a heat index to deal with, maybe a degree or two above the actual air temperature. And right now, heat index is 89 Stinson. 92 is what it feels like at Pleasanton right now. Just jumped up to 90 for the heat index in Bulverde. And throughout the rest of today, we're going to have plenty of sunshine, that hazy sunshine. Of course, we are going to be getting up through the 90s as the afternoon rolls on. Day number 16. Triple-digit temperatures out there. And then this evening, if you are heading on out, it's going to be a very pleasant evening, kind of that nice reddish sunset with all of that dust out there. And then, like I said, the nice thing is at least the dust is going to be kind of getting out of here as we go on into the rest of the weekend. Satellite picture, a couple of clouds, that's about it. And you look at the whole national picture, everything is up to the north of us, and it's pretty much moving either straight west to east. And even notice some of that rain out there to the west. It's kind of taking on a little bit of a clockwise flavor. That's that big high, which is just parked right on top of us. And excuse my grammar to all the English teachers out there, but it ain't going nowhere. It's going to be sticking around, and that's why this forecast is not going to be changing at all over the next couple of days. So by noon, within the next hour, we're going to be up to 90, mostly sunny skies, that hazy sunshine out there. And then later on today, once again, triple-digit temperatures. Hazy sunshine, and going into the weekend, we're going to be up to hundreds. Of course, Sunday, Father's Day, Juneteenth, but the holiday, of course, is on Monday. Nice long holiday weekend. And oh, by the way, guess what begins Tuesday?
Oh, no.
Summer.
Yeah, I know.
Are we sure it hasn't started already?
And as I said this morning, it is the biggest moot point that there has ever been. I think who really cares that summer actually starts on Tuesday, earlier on in the morning? However, that means the days are getting shorter after that. The summer solstice, the longest day of the year.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
But of course, historically, the hottest time of the year is coming for August. So just had to throw that one in there on you.
Yeah, that just hurts. And I like your push alerts, Mike, that you've been sending out this morning. Just, you know what? We're just going to get it. It's going to be neat.
How many different ways? Wasn't it Katie a couple of weeks ago looked up in the source, and there was, I don't know, 35 different ways to talk about hot and heat and yeah, so.
You guys are finding every which way possible. Any plans for Father's Day, Mike? Happy Father's Day, by the way.
My wife is taking me out for dinner tomorrow night.
Ooh, okay.
Smart. Yeah.
Yes, before Father's Day. So to a restaurant I have not been to yet, so I'm dying to try it.
All right.
I want to know what restaurant. Well, I won't. You can tell me after.
Yeah, after
Okay.
and we can get
Yes.
your review also.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I do like the whole, the Christmas in July also, because we do need to think cool thoughts. Something.
But I don't want to do the countdown to Christmas. You know, people start counting too early. It's
Yeah.
like, nah.
Yeah.
So, I
Well,
don't
you
like
say
that.
countdown to Christmas. Well, there is a countdown going on right now, and people
Yeah.
are counting down the days till the Amazon Prime sale.
Amazon Prime Day, yes. So this is a day that maybe many people have been waiting for. So it is finally set in stone. Amazon announcing Prime Days are officially happening in July. Speaking of July.
Yeah, so they're going to be it's a 2-day event, July 12th and 13th, and you'll want to be up early because the sale does kick off at 3 a.m. So what's on the list of things you can save on? Electronics, toys, housing items, clothes, and of course a lot more.
Yeah, so last year online shopping topped more than $11 billion with a B, up 6% from 2020.
I'm guilty.
Do you shop Amazon?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, Prime though, the Prime sales? Yeah.
Well, not necessarily that particular day, but it's just so easy.
It is. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to, if you need like something, you just kind of either Google it and enter it in, it's right there, and you don't have to drive around and
Yeah.
look and.
It's like Christmas when the Amazon guy comes every
is.
day sometimes.
It is. See,
I'm
that's
like,
why.
oh, there he is again.
Yeah, so we do have an Amazon Prime subscription, and my wife uses it all the time. I don't use it as often as I probably should, but that being said, on Amazon Prime Day, I always go on there way too late when everything's kind of like mostly gone.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like,
But it
was my Black
starts
Friday
at
also.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
on that day?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm here anyway, so.
Oh, it's perfect for you.
Not that I'm going to be shopping here at work on Amazon.
Yeah, not at all. Of
course not.
Never. Of course not.
What are you
No,
shopping for
do
over
that.
there? Oh, no.
Just looking up some tweets.
Order one of those for me, too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Mike. Well, thank you very much for being with us today. And
Enjoyed it.
Priscilla, of course, as always, thank you very much for hanging out with us as Alicia was in Uvalde and covering everything there as well. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys have a great Father's Day. Shout out to my dad as well. So do you have any shout outs real quick before we leave?
Well,
Your husband.
My husband,
Yes.
yeah. Happy Father's Day to him and
Yes.
my dad and my father-in-law and all of you, our viewers who are dads. Happy Father's Day to you guys as well.
And to my dad.
There we go. All right, guys, we will see you right back here on Monday at 11 a.m. You guys have a great day.
I knew I liked you. You're a Hallmark Christmas girl. Oh, God bless.